Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Stargirl Season 2, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for Episode 5 for this season, as we're used to by now, otherwise entitled Summer School Chapter 5. But of course, let's watch this trailer, and then we'll talk about it.
The Black Diamond brings out a darkness, not just in people, but in places.
What is that? Eclipso!
So last episode was a massive episode. A lot happened. A lot of people saying it's their favorite episode. I'm starting to reconsider, and maybe it is my favorite episode. Still tossing up between 3 and 4, but a lot happened. We had some Artemis development where her parents, Sportsmaster and Tigress, might I say, literally break out of prison to go help her with the football tryouts. Even though, just like, will they willingly go back? Would they've run away if they could have taken the chance if things played out differently? Who knows? We'll never know. That's like a what if situation. But at the end of the episode, Cindy Berman, aka Shiv, does recruit Artemis, or at least offer, give the offer out, and let's see what happens going forward with Artemis and the New Injustice Society. Obviously, we did get to learn more about Eclipso's history, Diablo Island, Bruce Gordon's involved. A lot of mystery there. There's just a lot of mysterious things going on, and I'm sure we'll learn more about that in this episode, hopefully, as well as in the episodes to come. But the big mic drop, oh wow, wasn't expecting that moment, was when we find out that the original Dr. Midnight is alive. So not Beth, she's alive, we know that. But Charles McNider, he is alive. He's been alive this entire time, apparently, and he is stuck in the Shadowlands, which is obviously the Shade's sort of power source, if you want to call it, but it's its own thing. So the Shade necessarily isn't in control of it, and maybe that's why he was being so suspicious and not necessarily confirming Dr. Midnight's death in episode 3 when Beth was accusing him of being a murderer. But yeah, there's a lot from that episode that hopefully carries on to this episode and beyond. But before we break down the actual trailer for episode 5, we will quickly read out the synopsis or description for the episode, as it does give us a bit more context and says things that aren't in the actual trailer. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions about this, any theories, any thoughts. Let me know you're looking forward to the most in this episode, and just your general responses, I guess, to what I talk about in the video as well. Let me know that in the comment section down below. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and you're looking forward to this episode, why not drop a like on it? It takes 2 seconds. As Pat and Courtney clash over their next steps in their search for Eclipso, ominous weather conditions in Blue Valley hint that he may be near. Meanwhile, Cindy's plan to recruit another student takes an unexpected turn, and Cameron opens up to Courtney. So firstly, it needs to be said. This needs to be said, it all needs to be heard. This trailer makes it look like this episode is going to be absolutely bonkers, and you know what? That's a good thing. A very good thing. It's a great thing. I can't wait to watch this episode based off what I'm seeing in this trailer. We are heading into the halfway point of this season, which is crazy to think, but due to being almost at that halfway point, you would expect stuff to start building up, heating up, darkening up, whichever way you want to put it. So I am excited to see not only what happens in this episode, but just in the next few episodes, might I say, around this halfway point in the season and what it sets up and deals with. It should be good. I can't wait. But anyway, we do start off the trailer by seeing quite the big storm or thunderstorm coming into Blue Valley. And as the synopsis for the episode says, this may be a hint that Eclipso is near. And that is a thing from the comics. Like, Eclipso can manipulate the weather. And what's the darkest and most unsettling type of weather, especially in horror movies? Well, it would have to be an over-the-top, very loud thunderstorm, wouldn't it? But as Pat does say at the beginning of the trailer, at least towards the beginning of the trailer as well, the Black Diamond brings out not only the darkness in people, but in places and just areas. So I do wonder what creepy and just dark stuff could go on within Blue Valley throughout this episode. Some weird stuff that is definitely out of the normal, I'm sure, will be happening, but it just matters where and when. Now, throughout the trailer, we definitely see some weird stuff, which we will get to, but I do wonder if there is even more stuff going on in the episode throughout Blue Valley that you have to just double take out and just wonder, hold on, is that actually happening right now? Is that a floating head that I'm seeing? Is that a hallucinogenic frog? What's going on? I'm sure there's going to be things like that potentially if Eclipso is now affecting, I guess, a lot of Blue Valley. So maybe keep your eyes peeled for some weird stuff. Now, as we can see in the trailer, the majority of it takes place at Blue Valley High, with us starting the trailer by seeing the new JSA running into the school while this big thunderstorm is going on outside. Now, at first, I thought maybe it was just Courtney, Rick, and Yolanda, or Stargirl, Hourman, and Wildcat, and that maybe Dr. Midnight had gone looking into this issue with the original Dr. Midnight, Charles McNider, from the end of last episode and got herself into some trouble, or at least the other JSA members were worried about her. However, we can see Beth or the new Dr. Midnight for like a split second as they are running in, and then we do see her in the school, but that's inside the school, and I thought she might have already been there, but we do see her for like a split second running in with the other JSA members. But I do wonder what brings them directly to Blue Valley High. If it's not Beth, maybe they figure out that Cindy is the one that has the Eclipso diamond or the black diamond at some point in this episode, and that someone who is a target of Eclipso through Cindy is at the school, and they get the heads up, or they just assume that that's who she's going to be going after. It would be interesting to find out, but I must say, schools after hours when no one else is there apart from yourself is very scary. Very scary, even as like an adult male. Scary. I wouldn't touch it. Would not recommend it. Let alone a teenager. School at night equals like automatic haunted house, in my opinion. It's just too weird. It's just too weird, You're used to that, hundreds and hundreds of people there, lots of noise. I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. It's just not for me. But yeah, the nightmare at school starts pretty quickly by the looks of it once the JSA gets there, with us seeing our heroes in the art room, and it looks like a bunch of 3-year-olds got their hands on the school's like entire stock of paint and just went absolutely crazy on the walls. At least that's what it looks like. Or someone just put like blobs of paint on like a record player and just hit play, and it just went everywhere. But outside of the paint, we can see that it all seems to come together and either starts to build into something or somebody, or is bonding to someone else's body, if that's English. Now, one person who seems to be struggling in particular throughout the trailer is Rick. We can see him like grabbing at his head while the others seem to be doing their best to fight whatever is in front of them, with us even seeing like a weird possessed painting of Rick's face. It's just weird, and this does make you think, will Rick be the one to fall to Eclipso and be taken over by him? Are we going to see Rick taken over by Eclipso in this episode? Now, they could make it that Rick is the first JSA member to be attacked by Eclipso and potentially taken over in the present day, because it would be a pretty big misdirect due to people thinking that Beth or Yolanda, or both of them, would be attacked. For those who don't know, and I don't think it's going to be a spoiler for the show, but they might hint at it at multiple stages throughout this season, Eclipso in the comics kills both Beth Chappell and Yolanda Montez. They both get killed by Eclipso in quick succession. I think it's like literally a couple of pages after. I think Yolanda dies first and then Beth dies a couple of pages later, I think, in the comics. And throughout this season, we know that Rick is doing much better now than he was in season 1. He was just like a really angry person in general in season 1, but in season 2, he is much more open. But we still don't know how much he is suppressing like certain dark feelings or thoughts, and these would be things that Eclipso would easily be able to latch onto and bring out and potentially, become extremely strong off. Now, the big reason I'm even leading us slightly down the track that Eclipso could potentially be trying to take over Rick is the fact that we see all that paint and gooey stuff latching onto someone in the trailer. Now, of course, they don't show us clearly who it is because that'd be a spoiler, though we can see the back of their head for a moment. Now, the only person we really see facing it is Stargirl, so enjoy having to deal with that monster, Courtney. But it must be said, it does sort of look like Rick from the back, like the hair. He is wearing the Owlman suit in the school though, but I guess that the hood and mask could easily be removed, but there's other options. It could be Pat, it could be Cameron Marquand. I mean, Cameron's brought up in this trailer. The synopsis says he opens up to Courtney. Maybe this is where Cameron goes bad due to Eclipso. Maybe he's there to meet Cindy or whatever it might be, or he sees Courtney, whatever it might be, and Cameron's just there. Maybe he's the one that's attacked. But you can see the back of the head, like it's a dark brown hair. So if I'm thinking of anyone on the show, it's, I guess Rick, Pat, Cameron, but a random choice, which could be the answer, would be the teacher from summer school. I think it's Mr. Dysinger. I think that's his name. He could be at school. He's a teacher. Maybe he's there after hours doing some marking or something. And I guess he is a somewhat expendable character to the story. And if they need an expendable character to make an example of in regards to this scary scene, I think that could be the case. They could use him. However, I think this person being taken over is someone of importance, because I think they want to make this a big moment. So Rick, Pat, Cameron, maybe Isaac Bowen, something like that. Could even be Cindy, and maybe the hair just looks like it's a. But the person's pretty tall, so I think it must be a male. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see who it is. Now, we know that Cindy is trying to finish off or finish up her Injustice Society, or her new Injustice Society. And we also know in episode 6, the episode after this, based off of the synopsis for that episode, that a big move from Cindy will go down in that episode in regards to her Injustice Society. So it does make you wonder even more who is being latched onto here by all of this stuff, and whether Eclipso makes his first physical appearance in this episode, or we are going to wait another week or a few weeks to see that on the show. But I think this episode will be the episode that clearly leans straight up into the horror genre. This trailer alone is giving me some like Nightmare on Elm Street vibes. I think that's what they're going for, at least in this school like art room scene. So yeah, I can't wait to see how it plays out. Now, one thing I do know, and I don't know exactly who it is, but I know there's a special guest appearance in this episode. I've heard that's happening in this episode. As I said, I haven't been told who, but I've been told just in general there's a guest appearance for this week from a character from season 1 that's not in season 2. So keep your eyes wide, I guess, and on watch for whoever that might be. It's not a spoiler, I guess, because I haven't named it, because I didn't even know. I've just been told that there's a special guest appearance. So let's wait and see who it is, and we'll talk about it in my next review for next week's episode. Unfortunately, no promo images at the time I'm recording this to put in this video. If there are any by the time I'm editing the video, I will quickly flash them on screen right now as I'm talking. If they're there, enjoy them. I don't know how many there would be, because I think they're trying to keep this episode a bit ambiguous and not spoil certain things. So I'm just mumbling so you can see if there's anything on screen. If not, let's move on. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below what you're looking forward to most in this week's episode. Who do you think that like the paint, goo, globby, flubbery stuff is latching onto? Do you think it's Rick? Do you think it's Cameron? Do you think it's Pat? Do you think it's someone random they just make an example of? Who do you think it is? Let me know in the comments section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.